you're going to consider yourself to be an athletic man.
Oh shit. Andrew Tate advice incoming.
Or even, to be honest, just a basic functioning male. You should be able to do 10 chin-ups, 20 press-ups, and 10 dips.
I do have to render an opinion on this. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for RP Strength. I'm a longtime professor of exercise and sports science, the co-creator of the RP Hypertrophy and RP Diet Coach app. Who are the other creators? Was a few folks on our team, including a team of engineers. I was never smart enough to be one of those. After many tears, I switched my major to exercise science, and now I get to make fun of people on the internet. Yay. Anyway, today's victim, oh, just kidding. Today's person we're talking smack about is Mr. Mike Thurston. I don't believe that's really his nickname, but it will be for the duration of this video. Who is Mike Thurston? He is a YouTube fitness person, and I would say almost the archetype for peak fitness influencer. How do I reason through this? Mike Thurston is from the United Kingdom. Southampton maybe. I don't know if that's true. Why not? So already lots of UK fitness influencers, but like almost every UK fitness influencer, he does not live in the United Kingdom because cloudy with a chance of sprinkles every day of the year blows. Even though I love the UK, it's one of my favorite places in the world, and London's technically maybe my favorite place in the world. Mike's up all that and moved to Dubai, the fitness influencer capital of the world. He's tall, I think, taller than me anyway, which is not a big accomplishment, but he's over 5'6". He has a head full of hair. He's just gorgeous, isn't he? Look at that little face. He's tan, he's lean, he's jacked, like in a kind of like low-key TRT sort of way. His apparel is just swaggin', skin tone. This is a guy you want to be around. This is a guy you want to be. Maybe if you're female, this is a guy you want to be with. Every time I get depressed about my own life, which is 6 times a day on average, I go to my Instagram and I scroll through what Mike Thurston is up to, and he's usually on vacation in like Mykonos in Greece or some shit like that. This guy is living the fucking high life, and I'm just trying to figure out how he trains in order to live the high life. So if you guys want to be fitness influencer, globe-trotting, YouTube intro, bouncy soundtrack to vlog type of people, let's get going.
Right then, we're going to start off with the hammer plate press.
Does he look like Chris Williamson, or am I just being racist against British people at this point?
It's not the same, don't they, Mike?
Dunny, like, is this a similar nose shape? Anyone? No one? I'll see myself out.
I like doing this one. Reasons why? Well, first of all, you can really push to failure.
Accurate, super true. If you go all the way to fail in this exercise, there is no conceivable way it can hurt you. I'm sure someone could come up with a weird YouTube video where someone like impaled through their eye through one of the handles, but you got to get really creative. So this is an excellent exercise where failure ain't none but a number, although it's not a number. Not all the jokes are funny. You guys are used to that sort of thing.
Without having to worry about decapitating yourself with a barbell, or without spangling your shoulder on the dumbbell.
Spangling? Scott, what's spangling?
I have no idea what that means.
Now, I'll just, spackling is this thing you do with like drywall. There is a word that you British people use for minor ache and pain. It starts with an N, and it sounds way too close to a word that we're not allowed to say in the United States unless we're of a certain ethnic origin. And so every time British people just say that word, like, oh, I've got a bit of a beep in my elbow, I'm always like, huh, look around. That black dude seems cool with it. That guy didn't give a fuck. Yeah, we allowed to say it? That I'm never saying it. Yo, you guys know what I'm talking about. Comment below. Great technique. A little bit of an enhancement for you folks at home training is you'll notice that as he comes down, he kind of curls in. And that drops his chest. It transfers more tension to the delts and the triceps and a little bit away from his chest. Again, this is excellent technique. But to make it super, super great, do the Jared Feather thing where as the weight comes down, you lift your chest and try to get your chest to meet the bar at the top, open up into the movement at the bottom. That will extra super duper fry your chest. Give it some thought.
Whoa.
That was good. That was an RIR.
What I'm going to do is a rest pause. So that's something which you can't do with a barbell or free weight. Once I reach failure, I'm going to rest 5-10 seconds, and then I'm going to go to failure again, rest for another 10 seconds, and then try rep it out.
I love it. We call those Maya reps. Berge Fagrelli, I don't know how you really say his name because good luck Googling that and pronouncing the shit out of that Norwegian name. He invented Maya reps. He's the man. He actually has a Maya reps ebook. So just type in Maya reps ebook and the letter B. It's not an O that follows after. It's like one of those umlaut O nonsense Nordic words. Who the f knows? So you'll find it, download it. It's a really, really awesome guide to understand all about Maya reps because that's what he's doing here. Maya reps are a type of rest pause, and he's doing that here. It's a great strategy. And exactly to Mike's point, it's really hard to pull off with barbells. Why? On a hammer strength, you do press, 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 you get tired, you just sit there. Or you just take your hands out and sit there 5-10 seconds, and then you go again. With a barbell bench, man, you gotta rack it. And then 5-10 seconds later, like, do you even get up off the bench? It's not really comfortable to just lay there. 5 to 10 seconds later, you gotta unrack it again. It's so much energy spent on the unrack. The muscular stimulus is not gonna be as high. You've pissed away a ton of energy just getting to the unrack position. So machines are generally way better for rest pauses, especially in chest movements. Give that some thought, and Maya reps are a great way to do it. Oh yeah, Mike Thurston. Again, gentle critique, not anything to be super concerned about. This is a great way of lifting. But as you get much bigger and much stronger, a lot of pulsatile force at the bottom of presses is a little teeny risk elevation for pulling your pecs, and you do not want to pull your pecs. So for a lot of folks, what I would recommend experimenting with, and this is a totally cool strategy to use, try this other one though and see how it feels, is lower the weight down slowly. Then when you come down, you guys want to see something funny? Hey, Scott, can you fix the fucking chair?
You've exceeded the weight limit.
What do I pay you for? I know it seems like Scott and I are really good friends when we have the banter, but it's totally business. To be honest, I don't even know his given last name. That's how much I don't care about him. As you lower down and stop, when you come back up, think of it as a slow acceleration, like a New York subway train leaving the station. It's like when the subway door closes and some bitch still has her handbag stuck in this motherfucker, it's not like the train is like, ready, Central Park, poof, just fucking fires off, which would be super awesome. But a lot of people would probably get hurt inside the train. As soon as the train doors close, it goes, and it kind of accelerates slowly. That's how I would treat the bottom of most presses. Start, push, 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 and then faster, and then come back down slow, and then push, 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 push. That instant explosion, it's gonna make you sweet at sports. It's totally fine. It's ultra safe, but for the maximum safety and efficacy, that slow push out is probably something to think about. All right, this is fun. There's more video to come, but if you want extra long version of this video with more content, more insights, and honestly, the kind of humor that would instantly get us canceled on YouTube, our members area is something to check out. Of course, we have tons of other super sciencey, super informative videos. They come all the time, so the membership might be worth the price, especially if you're a Dubai multi-billionaire ass having motherfucker like Mike Thurston. Anyway, back to the video.
That was 6. 10 seconds.
Damn, this motherfucker trying. Scott, he's burying most of our pros here on this channel as far as effort is concerned.
Mike trains. Props.
Mike fucking trains. And not only does he train, but he has an awesome YouTube channel, an amazing podcast, and a ton of resources for folks who are interested in diet and training. Mike Thurston is a guy to check out and a guy to listen to, for real. So add him to your list of people in the fitness industry that aren't liars and charlatans that you can trust. Tentatively, of course. I'm not on that list. I wouldn't trust a fucking word I was saying.
We're doing a cable chest fly.
Dude, what gym is he at? Okay, so I suspect this, well, no. This could be Dubai. Scott, is this Dubai?
Yeah.
It is. Folks, let me tell you a few things about Dubai. It's like Las Vegas in many ways. There's tons of fun stuff to do. It's really exotic. There's like a trillion super rich people, one of which is Mike Thurston. Tons of influencers and a bazillion OF girls. Jared, that's true, right? Oh yeah. So there's tons of great stuff to see. So definitely go to Dubai, catch yourself a vacation. However, and this is something I got direct information from Mike Thurston himself, Dubai in the summer months is hotter than, well, let's be colorful with the analogy, 2 rats f***ing in a wool sock. I learned that when I was in the South at school. I loved it. I'm keeping it forever, like the 2 rats that I keep in my wool sock, also forever. It's hot as shit in Dubai, and it's dry as shit. It's the f***ing desert. So that means during normal training and through the whole day, never mind if your gym is remotely close to the outdoors, but even in air conditioning, you sweat off so much fluid just existing in a place like Vegas or Dubai that what ends up happening is you might, go walk around, see some sights, and then at 4 p.m. you want to do a workout. You come to the workout, you've been eating and drinking like you normally would anywhere. You just don't have it. You're deflated, your veins are kind of gone, you're tired, and you're like, dude, what the hell happened to me? You are dehydrated. And hydration is kind of a 2-part thing. In order to fix hydration, you need fluids. Water's great, but you also need electrolytes, which are salt compounds that exist in your body and hopefully in whatever you're rehydrating with that allow you to hold that water, make sure it does all those beneficial things. And electrolytes are awesome for literally allowing your muscles to function, allowing your nerves to function, keeping you upright, maximizing your performance, the whole 9 yards. So if you find yourself just by accident in a place like Dubai and you call the U.S. military for assistance, they're like, all right, we're going to have a C-130 come by and airdrop you something. What do you need? You only need one thing, Element. Element gives you those little drops of salt and flavor. You put them into water, you drink them, you rehydrate from a fluid perspective and an electrolyte perspective. And now you're having amazing workouts again. So especially if you find yourself in Dubai and you have a direct line to the U.S. CENTCOM and Special Forces, have them drop you a whole container of Element. And if you can't drink it by yourself, give it away to villagers in the outskirts. It'll be nice. And tell them Element sent you. Anyway, check out Element. There's a link in the description for some savings. Give that some thought. If you're struggling with hydration, Element's the fucking shit.
If we're doing a cable chest fly, I'm doing it seated.
Doing it what now? Seated. Hi.
Because I like having the stability.
There's a T at the end of that word, Mike. Stability. Scott, why do people from the United Kingdom skip entire letters? Are they trying to be more like French people? Ooh, JK fellas. French people also stay calm, have a croissant, calm the down.
Just sitting down. When I stand up, I usually rock all over the place. Basically, I want to go back to the point. I need there to be tension when my arm is in this position.
This is a free motion, rigged setup, I believe. And it's good that he's talking about tension at the bottom because that's super important. And in your own situation, you want to slide that chair up real nice. It makes getting the hands a little weird, but you have to have max tension at the bottom. I've seen pre-made machines like this where the chair is part of the machine. You can't move it. And like the weights clank here and you're like, the f is this for? And it's a total waste. This is a really great setup and Mike knows how to use it.
Nice. I bend my elbow a little bit at the bottom. Just to prevent any damage to my elbow joint.
Yeah. You probably won't get damage to your elbow joint, but it can sure as shit irritate you. If you're used to a fully locked out pec fly situation, you actually can do it and it's totally dope. It also hits your biceps a lot, but for most people to produce maximum tension in the pecs and feel okay in the joints, a little bend is totally good to go. This is very good technique, a little bit of a bounce at the bottom, which with dips I especially am not a humongous fan of. I'm not saying dips are super highly injurious, but if shit zigs when it should have zagged, not great things might happen for dips. So I would like to see, ideally, something like a Jared Feather style dip where you slowly control the eccentric and spend a second at that very bottom big stretch and then all the way back up. But not all of us are technique sticklers and technique supremacists like Jared that look down on other people and think they're worse than them at a qualitative, deep human level for using bad technique. Me, I'm a nice guy. I like you either way. Jared doesn't like you to begin with, and he especially hates it if you do bad technique, unless you are a Southeast Asian or Latina female, in which case he loves you more than anyone you've ever known in your entire life and loved you before you were born, during your time alive, and can see into your future, and he loves you there as well. See him on Instagram.
I endorse this message.
Just be careful with that one. Don't go too deep.
You can go too deep on dips. Nothing bad happens when you go deep. As long as it's slow, you're good to go. Yeah, it sounds like a little rhyme. It makes sense. Nothing special, magical, bad happens to you at a really, really deep place for dips. If you bounce out of that deep place, maybe nothing great will happen. If you slow down into it, pause, and come back up, in most cases, it's totally good. If your elbows feel really terrible or your shoulders feel really bad, go a little higher, but most people, myself included, can go all the way super, super deep and not pay down a goddamn thing.
If you're going to consider yourself to be an athletic man,
Oh shit. Andrew Tate advice incoming.
or even to be honest, just a basic functioning male,
My proctologist told me I no longer qualify as that. On technical grounds.
you should be able to do 10 chin-ups, 20 press-ups.
What's a press up?
That's British version for push-up, mate.
Is that like truck is a lorry?
Yeah,
It's a push up, Scott?
I'm almost positive.
and 10 dips.
I do have to render an opinion on this. Mike's not wrong. If you want to be like club going pop collar alpha type motherfucker, the conversation for that begins at the RP Hypertrophy app. There is no avoiding hard training if you want to grow. But if you want to grow the most, your training needs to be hard and smart. RP Hypertrophy app will make sure you're progressing on track, monitoring and adjusting your workout at all times. So for all that work you're doing, you can be sure you're getting the best results. And then the more strength, the merrier. But like, you don't have to be strong or jacked to be like a proper adult male. I mean, I don't think Elon Musk can do any of these exercises for that many reps, but well, I guess he's a god and not a man. You fools. I proved Mike correct. Never mind, I take it all back.
I personally quite like this exercise. You get quite a lot of overload at the bottom of the movement. So when the muscle's in the lengthened position, there's a lot of resistance.
Great. This is a great exercise. The one downside of this exercise is like in a corporate commercial big box gym, monopolizing both sides of a fucking cable rack is, you just have to have some gusto to pull it off. So that's a thing. If you want another variation of this exercise that's also really dope, if this is possible in your cable setup, take the cable and raise it up to around hip height, and then you get the maximum tension at the stretch and then minimum at the top. That really is gnarly. The way Mike is doing it is awesome. Give that one a shot as well.
Yes. Very good.
Jolly good.
Try and ensure that you keep your palm flat all the way up to the top, because we want the focus to be here, the mid delt. So if you're in a position where the thumb is up, you've moved it to the front.
Brilliant advice. I talk about this all the time. Pinkies up for side delt, for front delt, thumbs up. And a lot of people just shouldn't and aren't training front delts in these kinds of exercises, but your front delts are big and strong. And so if you don't pay attention, you might even start with pinkies up, but after a while you're doing thumbs up lateral raises. It's still a fine exercise, but keep the onus on keeping your palms down into pronation and your pinkies up a little bit, and you're probably gonna get better side delt stimulus.
So flatten it, move it to the middle. Again, short rest period in between these, 60 seconds. 60 seconds is all we need. Drop set.
Great technique. Notice on the way down, he doesn't just drop it. He's milking it all the way through that eccentric. Brilliant. Folks, let's rate Mike Thurston. Looks, 10. Body, 10. British accent, 12. Some James Bond shit. I feel like a woman who maybe the Soviet spies like hired to seduce James Bond, but it's Mike Thurston, and I'm like, oh my god, he's seducing me instead. What? Anyway, based on all that, and the fact that he has an awesome app, and the fact that he's a guy who knows what he's doing, Mike Thurston gets a
That was 32 out of 30, so.
32 out of 30, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Scott.
I was counting.
All right, that was sweet. Folks, YouTube wants you to click on this little video here. And to be honest, I don't even know what it is. I'm actually just pointing into the middle of nothing. But you seem to see a video there, and if you like it, give it a click, and we'll see you next time.